everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is Sunday, of course. Y'all know Sunday is going to be my upload day. I am here today because I had a requested video and I wanted to go ahead and actually give my thoughts on this topic. I actually did a podcast, and even though it's titled different, it's the same thing actually. So I'm going to link that podcast in the description bar, and this is for the person who requested this video to check that podcast out. And I think I entitled that When Life Doesn't Go As You Plan. And I'm going to link that podcast in the description bar. Please go out and make sure you listen to that podcast when you get an opportunity. But I was requested to do this video, and it was talking about women who have reached a certain age. We're going to say middle age, and we usually attribute that to like 50 and over, who've reached this age and they feel like they have not accomplished the things in life that they wanted, or gotten themselves to a place in life where they feel like they have, I guess, become successful or have made something of themselves, or whatever it is you're trying to do with your life. I want to speak directly to you all because, see, I think for me, this is my thoughts on that. We were raised and taught that there was a direct path to success or achieving or arriving. And that meant once you graduate from high school, hopefully you graduate from high school. Once you graduated from high school, you were taught to go to college, right? Go to college, get that education, get that degree or that training or whatever you were doing. And then once you achieve that, you come out of school with your accolades, your degrees, and all of that, and you were to go off and sell into a career path related to what you went to school for. And then as women, we were also taught that then it was time to settle down, get married, have a family, build that house, your 2.5 kids, as I stated in the podcast, which meant your 2 kids and a dog. And life was supposed to be great after that. But we know then in life, it doesn't always go that way. And in life, that's not always what we desire. Let me just interject that. But we're going to stick on the path of what society says we're supposed to do. So sometimes in life, you'll have to go a different path. Sometimes in life, the things that you plan is not the way your life is going to turn out. That's not anything to do with you. It just wasn't your journey. And I've learned since I have gotten to this stage of my life that what I thought was what I was supposed to do is not necessarily what I was supposed to do. And that what society says is success or achieving is not necessarily what it is. See, it's up to you to determine what that means. I always use this scenario of my father. My father being a young black man in the 60s. And when my father was 25 years old, he owned his own house. We lived in a predominantly white neighborhood. And I'm saying that for a reason, because if you know, you know. If you're from the 60s and you know how society was at that time with discrimination and things like that. But we lived in a predominantly Caucasian community. And my dad was a carpenter. He never went to college a day in his life. My father graduated high school, he joined the Army, and he served, I think, 5 years in the Army and got out because he was injured. And my father became a carpenter by trade. So with that, my father built homes, he helped build homes. And now we're not talking about construction companies, we're talking about men who got together and built homes. And this is what he did. And my father also got an employment with a company where he was over maintenance of an apartment complex or housing project. Let me change it because it wasn't an apartment complex. It was a housing project. And he would make sure that the guys kept the maintenance up in that. And my father did that for over 40 years. And he retired. My father retired very comfortable. My father had over 90 acres of property that he owned. And he built a comfortable home on his property that his wife still lives on today. And we had plenty of land where we could run and have a good time as kids. We would ride four-wheelers. My father loved, grown men toys. And so he bought ATVs and four-wheelers, and we would go down in the summers, and we would ride through these hills and trails through the property on those four-wheelers and ATVs. And my father retired, like I stated, very comfortable, living his life with not a day over 12th grade education. But society has told us that. Now, let me say this up front. We teach our children that. I taught my kids that. I wanted them to go to school because I felt that getting a higher education meant that they would become successful in life. And we promote that because we know it's hard out here. But today I'm finding that a lot of people are doing that and not achieving success. Either they deviate from what they went to school for, they're no longer interested in it, or these particular positions don't pay any more than someone just learning a skill set and going into the same field. Saying all this to say this, we have to stop putting stock in what people in society says is success, or what's achieving, or arriving, or however you want to term it, and decide for ourselves what that means. So what does that mean when you say, I have not achieved, or I'm not doing as well at this stage of life? Is it something that you were trying to acquire that you are not able to obtain, or did you try for it? Or are you looking around at everyone else and saying, I'm supposed to be here, I'm supposed to have that, I'm supposed to do this? See, I always tell people I owned a home once, and I was married at the time, and when I divorced, I felt that that home was a little bit too much for me. It was on an acre of land. It's a nice, beautiful home, almost 3,000 square feet. I think it was like 2,900, and it was a lot to maintain as a single mom once I got divorced. Plus the rent and the mortgage and the insurance on it was just more than I was willing to do. So I made a decision to let go of that house. And I've never looked back, and I've never regretted it. Now, so for some people, you just got to have a home because that means you're something. Now, don't get me wrong. If you own a home and you love your home, fine. But I always tell people you really never own your home. So just going to put that out there. Don't want to spoil it for you. If you're paying taxes every year, you still don't own it. Just saying. Just saying. But anyway, as I stated, if you own your own home and that's something you were aspiring to do, I'm so happy for you. You achieved that goal. I'm not putting it down. But I'm speaking to those who look around at people who have these things and feel like they have not achieved success or achieved where they want to be in life. And that's the thought and the path you should be on. What is it that you're wanting to acquire? If you are comfortable in the things that you're doing right now, if you have a job where you work and it supplies your needs and even some of your recreational activities and affords you the opportunity to do things, then to me that's success. If you're comfortable, if you're able to travel or have fun, or you have hobbies that you want to do, to me that's success. So I think we have to stop looking around us and looking at what people are doing and saying to ourselves, I'm not there because I don't have these things. As I get older, I minimize my life more and more. I get rid of things because I like the freedom of being nomadic. I like the freedom of saying, if I don't want to live here in this city or this state anymore, I can pick up and move. And everybody might not look at life. They might look at it, I got to be stable. I'm going to get old one day and I got to have somewhere to be. I look at it like this. If I plan my life around what going to happen when I get old, then I would not be happy. Aging is happening. It's going to come. But I'm not going to settle my life around that. What I'm doing is living day by day and putting everything in today. So if you're working and you're able to acquire that, if you're able to go ahead and retire and live off of the income you can get from that, enjoy your life. Do what you want. But if you are at that point where you want more, what's stopping you? It's never too late for you to decide, I want more. I want to do something else. I want to go for something else. There are people in college that are 80 years old and older. So if you want to go to school, do that. If you want to learn a skill set, do that. But don't allow society to dictate to you what success means, why you haven't achieved that, because life is continuing and it's a continual evolution. You never get to the destination. You continue to evolve each and every day. Surround yourself with people who inspire you. Don't let people talk down to you where you are in life and say what you're doing is not good enough. Only you can determine that, and only you can make the difference. So I wanted to share my thoughts on that. If you have any questions or thoughts or anything else you want me to address on this, please drop your comments below. I'll be happy to address them. As I stated before, the podcast will be in the description bar. Please go out and listen to that to help be inspired. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, share this share this video, and yeah, become a part of the family. And if you're a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for returning, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember always, peace and love. I'll see you real soon.